class or previous to that, I talked about a concept called association. What your product, what your brands gets associated with. And in the first class, I talked about dalda. Jharkhand mein bhi milta hai dalda, right? Dalda has a very strong association with vanaspati oil or vegetable ghee, correct? Which is not a ghee. And in many people's mind, it is associated even today with animal fat used as a catalyst, correct? So Brahmins specifically who are pure vegetarian, they avoid this most of the time. You are aware of that? This is an association. Now imagine dalda decides from same ghee, from that vegetable ghee to desi ghee. You know desi ghee? You know desi ghee? In America also it is sold as desi ghee only. This term is international. Okay? So desi ghee. If they decide to do this, will you buy? No. Why? Because there is a very strong association of this brand with this. This is extremely strong association. So people are not ready to accept it something else. Bata, biscuit. Think about it. Okay? People say, "Sale bata se marunga." Bata khayega? Now imagine, bata biscuit khayega? Not possible because the association is with shoes, correct? And that is a negative part. So it's not possible. So every brand, when we talk about positioning and association, what association you have created. Now Tata is a very good example that you brought, and I think I explained. Tata has three important associations. The biggest association is ethics. Tata as an organization is perceived to be an ethical organization. Perceived to be. Okay? I have been consultant, so I know the reality. But consumers never know the reality. Only when you become employee, then you will know the reality as an employee. Right? कहते हैं ना घर में घुसो तब पता चलेगा. But general perception is it's a highly ethical company. Everything is ethical. Correct? Now ethics or ethical way of doing things is applicable for everything. Correct? Whether you make salt or you have airline or software or hardware, the father of information technology in India, who is father of it, Indian IT? Do you know the name of the person? He is dead. The father of Indian information technology sector. He is dead, so don't say Narayan Murthy because Narayan Murthy is alive. Who is that? IT guy? Oh, my friend? Huh? You don't know? He is called Fakir Chand Kohli. His name was Fakir Chand Kohli. And he was the first chairman of TCS. And then he became deputy chairman of Tata and Sons. I have met Fakir Chand Kohli 3 times in his office for long hours. Okay? I was able to develop good relations with him because I was working on a project where I needed to understand about the evolution of IT industry. So in that context, I was able to meet Fakir Chand. And he's dead, as I said. He's the father of Indian IT industry and he's dead. So this ethics is one part. The second thing that they are known is for integrity. For consumers, for anything, I may be the most dishonest person on the earth, but everybody else, I expect them to be having the high. Correct? Human tendency. So integrity, applicable for any product, any services. Tata is never known for creating anything best. Do they have best technology? Do they have best services? No. But whatever they are doing, it is done in an ethical way and there is an integrity. As a result of that, the third is consumer trust, employees trust, the trust on Tata. So they did not create any association which was product specific or service specific. They created the association on fundamental values that human beings in any part of the world want or appreciate or like. Brands are about the trust. In my mind, I trust this person very well, so he is a brand in my mind. Understand? So this is why the Tata became very successful. Internationally, we have an example which also exists in India called GE. Yes, you know General Electric, but it never calls itself General Electric anymore. None of the documents, nowhere in the world GE is now pronounced as General Electric. Because the original company was General Electric Company and they were only in electric products. Later on, what they did was they diversified themselves not just in electrical products. They make space products, they make chemicals, pesticides that you put in the farm. They make seeds, those genetically modified seeds, what we call GMOs. They make genetically modified seeds for agricultural products. They make chemicals. They are in financing. Have you heard GE Finance? G Capital. It's called GE Capital. They are in financing. They are in medical equipment. When you are admitted in the hospital, some of the highest end medical equipment used for your scanning or treatment or even surgery, they are made by GE. GE makes home appliances, refrigerator, microwave oven, dishwasher, washing machine, dryer, home appliances. We also call them white goods because originally these home appliances came in white color, so they are also called white goods. Now, imagine not everything is electrical here. So they needed to change the name to remove the confusion from consumers' mind. And the easiest was because many people were anyway calling it GE, all of that became GE. So now you have GE Capital, GE Medical, GE Chemical, GE Plastics, even plastics they make. Is that clear? Now, why GE is able to do all that and everywhere successful? Because Tata stood for three things, GE stood only for one thing. Excellence. General Electric got associated as creating the excellent product, excellence in electricity. So that was a position that can be extended to any product or service category. GE makes engine for submarine, ships, aeroplanes, buses. So GE also makes engines and some of the best engines. They are not in automobile sector. Rolls-Royce is in automobile sector, but GE is not. Why Airbus, Boeing, they take GE engines? Why submarines, the defense submarines that we talk about, the engine that is used in that Navy submarines is GE engine. Why do we use it? Because only one association, that is excellence. So you get your answer?
Sir, Tata is for everyone.
Yes.
Sir, but why, how the consumer is able to differentiate, like luxury people also use Tata?
Yeah.
The small class, middle class also, but why doesn't it come with ultra luxury products or luxury products like Parada, LV? they don't create goods for middle class. So why Tata has been successful?
So as I told you that these values, these are called human values associated with the brand value, they are universal for any segment. Okay? But any ultra luxury products or luxury products that you talk about, there is one paper I think you have not downloaded. I have put one write-up. I prepared a write-up on what is next about brand, commodity and luxury products. Do you have access to that Google Drive where all these presentations are uploaded? Please read that article and then ask me question again tomorrow. In that article I have explained this. So what happens, the luxury or ultra luxury products, they are based on very unique associations from that luxury perspective. For those guys, these universal values exist, but they don't buy only on this. Okay? So for example, Hermes. Hermes was, have you heard Hermes? No?
So that one chocolate syrup.
No, Hermes is not chocolate. Hermes is Prada's great-great-great-grandfather in price. So if a Prada bag is $20,000, Hermes will start from $100,000. Understand? Ultra luxury segment. That's what the Hermes is. They make leather bags. But what kind of leather bags? Exotic leather. For example, crocodile leather. Prada or any other brand does not make bags with the crocodile leather. Crocodile leather is the most difficult thing and most rare. Okay? So they use the leather which is unique, and there is only one bag that they will make, one design. You cannot have, if you say ऐसा ही एक और दे दो, Prada will give you that. Louis Vuitton will give you that. 10 level, 50 level. But Hermes, ऐसा एक और दे दो, नहीं. It's only one made for one person. It's like Rolls-Royce cars. There is no duplicate of that car. Only one car for one person. Understand? Or my bag. So those cars, the customer is invited by private jet. Private jet is sent to the customer to come to the factory and decide what do you want in your car, how do you want to design. Each part, a car is created only for that customer, will not be replicated for anyone else. That is called ultra luxury. There, all these are there, but something is more than that. Correct? So that is the association that we are talking about in luxury, something that's not for people. That's not for others. Huh? Personalization and uniqueness. The most important part of luxury and ultra luxury is uniqueness. Yes, satisfying my personal ego. What I have, nobody else has. Understand? That's the thing. Did I answer your question? Anyone else has any other question? Anyone? This was questions on whatever we discussed so far. But please read that article which I have prepared and uploaded. Okay, the very first class I uploaded. You guys have read that paper? The brand, luxury, commodity, future. What is ahead? Did you like it? Okay. Anyone? Any other question? All fine? Okay. Wonderful. So let's move further. So we are going to talk today about further brand building. We created a brand. We talked about associations. Now these associations are created by several ways. The first thing is co-brand. Besides the primary associations we talked about, then in the last class I talked about secondary associations. So within secondary association, you look at many of those things. But as a brand manager, the first option that we have is called co-branding. Now, second thing that we'll discuss is ingredient branding. I gave you some idea, but I'm going to do a little more details to it. Third, we will talk about brand alliances. Fourth, we will talk about endorsement or endorsers and events. Okay, these are important secondary brand associations that we are going to talk about. Okay, now this one, I hope will have the full volume. Is it connected to this? Connected. My computer, please. Okay. So,
happy Tuesday, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to
can you hear it?
edition of Brand Tuesday number 18. My name is Brittany Pipper, and I'm a brand expert and designer, and I've helped socially-minded businesses amplify their visual brand. On today's Brand Tuesday, I'm going to talk about why two brands can really be better than one, and why you might consider co-branding or co-branded partnership as a powerful brand strategy to use for your business. Make sure that you stick around to the end of this episode to learn how you can catch more Brand Tuesdays from me every week. So let's get started. What is co-branding? Co-branding is a partnership between two or more businesses where both businesses are coming to promote a campaign, product, or service and share the benefits of that promotion. So really the best way to really understand or explain co-branding is by providing some real-world examples and some successful real-world examples of that. So really my favorite one and the most recent one that comes to my mind is really Visa and the Olympics. And in particular, their spot with Tessa Virtue and Scott Moore. So if you don't know who Tessa Virtue and Scott Moore are, Google them, check them out. They're super talented figure skaters from Canada. So the Visa spot with the co-branding was so successful and worked so beautifully because of the timing of the Olympics. The Olympics is an internationally celebrated worldwide event, and it was super smart for Visa to pair their brand with the Olympics. It's such a positive thing and has such a high profile. And in particular, Tessa Virtue and Scott Moore, they had this beautiful 15-second spot where they were doing some flips and twirls in the airport, and Visa had their branding at the bottom of it saying that Visa really provides you this lifestyle. So it was a super successful example of co-branding. Another recent example that I have come across for some really successful co-branding is MAC Cosmetics and Sia. So MAC Cosmetics is actually been fantastic with co-branding with celebrities and really leveraging the power of celebrity in their brand. So right now their current promotion is they partnered with Sia, and they created this really bright bold red lipstick that they're selling with her image, that they're promoting with her image on it, and a portion of the proceeds are actually going to the MAC AIDS Fund. So the reason why this co-brand is so super successful is because it's socially responsible. You have celebrity, you have the power of celebrity like Sia, who's promoting this brand. So there's really, really like a lot of healthy things happening there. You have this empowered woman celebrity, you have a fantastic cause for supporting AIDS. So really, when you purchase this product, you are going to look and feel great, really. So really a fantastic example of successful co-branding. Another example would be Nike and Apple. Now, this is an older example. I believe their partnership started in the early 2000s when Apple was first launching iPods. But what they wanted to do was they really wanted to bring Apple's audience to Apple's audience to Nike's audience, and really, provide some sweet tunes while you're sweating. So they developed this technology to really track your workout data while you're listening to this music. And in the process, why this was so successful was really that they enhanced their customers' experience. So both Apple and Nike came together and really created a better product together. So it was really, really successful, sample of co-branding because they were really elevating that customer's experience at the end, and also at the same time cross-promoting their own brand. So a super successful example of co-branding. So really, why might you consider co-branding for your fun, and you both get the double exposure of tapping into each other's audiences that you might not have access to. So you're really leveraging each other's audiences. So that is just a couple of key reasons why you might want to consider a co-branding strategy for your business. So some tips about how to create a really successful co-branding partnership is to, number one, do your research beforehand about this partnership. Carefully choose who you want to partner with. Do they have similar audiences than you? Do they have similar marketing goals to you? Really, how is their brand image, and does it have a synergy between both of your brands? You really should ideally share a common thread or complementary link between your two brands to have a really powerful impact and, again, add that value for your customer. So something that I think of as another example of this is a few years ago in the Atlantic provinces here, Jamie Oliver partnered with Sobeys. And what they did was to get people in the door, you bought a certain amount of groceries, you got a stamp, and then you eventually got Jamie Oliver's free knives, which was a really quality product. It brought brand awareness to Jamie Oliver, and it also got people more customers to come to the door at Sobeys. So there was a natural alignment there. Jamie Oliver is a chef, and Sobeys is a grocery store where it sells food. So it was a brilliant co-branding alignment. So really, it needs to be, ideally, it needs to be mutually beneficial for both businesses and add greater value for your customer. And really through a partnership that really works to enhance and elevate the experience for your customer. So guys, thanks so much for tuning in to today's Brand Tip Tuesday. I'd love to hear about your favorite examples of some co-branding and maybe a couple businesses that enhance your experience as a customer. Also, if you have any questions about co-branding, definitely shoot them in the comments section below. I promise to get back to you. So to check out more of my brand tips, like...
Okay, so you might have, she runs her own brand agency. She is known as a brand expert. So I thought somebody from industry should tell you what co-branding is. Few important things. He also gave you the tips, etc. I hope you heard it carefully along with examples. First of all, co-branding is when the audience are same. Okay? So this is why every bank, credit card, Visa or MasterCard, the credit card is not just Visa card or MasterCard, it is co-branded with a bank. ICICI Bank, Visa card, right? Amazon Prime, Visa card, correct? So that, and the audience are same. You are the bank customer. You also not only use the banks for your financial services, you also need credit, right? You want something that you can buy on credit. Now, banks give you on credit, but charge certain interest rate. But if you take credit card, it gives you certain days of free credit, correct? Maybe 30 days or 20 days or whatever, it's a free credit. So that is the same customer looking for both of them, so it came together. She also gave you the example of Apple and Nike. So if you see this Apple watch, this is strap. This is Apple strap, but the collaboration between Nike and Apple led to creating straps which are Nike branded. So here you have Apple and this is Nike, and it will also have Apple logo. So Apple watch strap, the Nike does not make for Samsung watch strap. Only Apple watch strap from Nike, and it's quite expensive. We are talking about $70–80 just for the strap. Just for the strap. So people buy a new watch, which is I think about $500, and then you spend another almost 20% just to buy that Nike strap because you are more athletic and also a sports person. Not only that, they created certain apps because, as you know, this Apple Watch has sensors, and those sensors monitor a lot of your physiological things. For example, this Apple Watch connects, continuously tracks my heart, and this information is connected through Wi-Fi to my doctor. So if there is anything in US, so if anything is abnormal, my doctor will know there and will immediately inform me what I have to do. So this is the benefit. So they have created, Nike has created a special app which are for sports and athletic purpose. So now you see giving that added benefit, and it's for the same people. They love Apple Watch, they are also the customer for Nike. Not only that, you may be aware that in Apple Watch we can change the dial. You know that, right? You can have one dial now and you can have another one after a few hours or whatever you want. So they came up with the Nike dials. That's also a simple app basically. So you can change it to special Nike dials. Of course you have to pay little money, and that money is shared between Apple and Nike, right? So that is the co-branding example CK. And the text. As I said, you have the link, you can watch again. So now you know what is co-branding, what is necessary, the audience, the commonality of audience is necessary, and how it works. The next video is again about this, but much shorter. So this one is much shorter video, just examples. That's why you see here all things co-branding. So only examples, just examples, but very nice, less than a minute video. So let's watch this.
Co-branding is when two or more brands collaborate on a shared venture. Each brand is generally looking to leverage the other brand's audience reputation, therefore increasing their exposure, their reach, their sales and their market share, and potentially allowing them to use a premium price. The key here is that they need to share a similar audience. Now there are a few different types of co-branding. Component co-branding is when two existing products are joined to create a new product, such as Taco Bell and Doritos. Joint venture co-branding is when an entirely new product is created by two brands. Kanye West teaming up with Adidas to create Yeezy is a great example. Sponsorship co-branding is when two brands promote an event. Red Bull and GoPro are a prime example. And then you have tandem co-branding, where brands with complementary products promote the use of their products together. Stay tuned for the next videos where we'll discuss exactly why all those examples did so well.
So very short but many good examples which you may be aware. Another thing you might have observed that the co-branding is not necessarily just the product brand or physical goods. The co-branding is also done by humans. So the Nike shoe that you have seen, the Red Bull that you have seen, correct? These are with and the MAC lipstick, example that lady gave you with Shia. Shia is a very famous celebrity. So that celebrity has a brand as a human, and the MAC has a brand for cosmetics. Together they came up with a lipstick that was MAC Shia, and that was expensive lipstick, but people, a lot of, in America, a lot of women, especially younger women, followed Shia. So because she is kind of, people want to look like her, that's why they will buy that lipstick. That's the commonality. So co-branding is also with individuals, with people.
So what's the difference between co-branding between human and product and brand ambassador? Do both are same?
No, they are not same. So in co-branding what we do, we create a brand where we add two names. That's important. So MAC, Shia.
Okay.
Lipstick is product.
Oh, that's it.
Is that clear? The endorsement is different, and I'll talk about endorsement. Is this clear, my friend? Any question on this? If this is clear, I'm moving to the next, that is about ingredient branding. This person that you look here, he's a German fellow, who was a professor in Kellogg, the #1 marketing school in the world, along with Philip Kotler, of course not the same status, and then later on he left US and moved back to Germany. So now he's in Germany, and you see the book here on ingredient branding. He has written a book. You see here the whole book on ingredient branding, and with whom? This is a co-branded book. The book is written by him, this fellow. But who is the first brand? Why? That's the most respected brand. How many people know this face? How many people know his name? Very few. What about this brand? Everybody knows. He has not written a single word in the book. Not a single word. Of course, he has read it before publication, gave us some suggestions and ideas, but he hasn't written a single word. This fellow wrote everything about it. Correct? And because this came here, what happened? The book became successful, right? So even in, some of you are PhD scholars, some of you may become PhD scholars in future. The journal papers that you write, there is a co-brand, or conference papers that you write, there is a co-brand.
Software taking this legendary writers together in the pair.
So what is co-authorship? Co-authorship is co-brand. A lot of people we have our apex bodies, American Marketing Association, for marketing people, our professional body like the Medical Council of India. So similarly, every profession has a body, and there are international bodies and national bodies. American Marketing Association is called American, but it is international body, international professional body. So your definitions, principles of marketing for academics as well as for practice are finalized by American Marketing Association. So when you read Kotler's book or anybody's book, it says definition of marketing according to AMA 2025. It's revised also over a period of time. Look at marketing definition. It has been revised so many times because as the time moved, you needed to revise it. All that is confirmed by American Marketing Association. So that is our top marketing science body. Okay. It was very difficult for Indian faculty to get paper accepted. Why? Like this, the problem of the branding. Nobody knows that brand. Correct? So, several people, when I was at IIT Bombay, I was the first Indian whose paper was accepted by American Marketing Association. And I went to Chicago from IIT Bombay to present that paper. So, it was a big thing for IITs because even IIMs people didn't get the paper accepted in AM. So that was a very, very big thing for IIT. They celebrated that achievement. Since then, it has been 20 years, every year I attend their annual conference. Every year. Now this year, and it is always in the month of August, 2nd or 3rd week. This year it is in the 3rd week in Chicago again. So, as usual, you will find me there. If you come there, you will find me there. Now, IIT and IIM's students, PhD students with their supervisors, they are working hard and they get paper accepted. It's a different scenario. But still many professors from private school, they don't get their paper accepted. So, some I help them as a co-author, which is co-branding exam. The same audience, same thinking, so we do that co-branding and we come up, we get the paper accepted. Right? We have a live co-branding example here. We co-branded a paper, co-authored a paper and got it in AMA. And this is the first time anybody from SRM University has got a paper in AMA. She is the first one to get from SRM a paper. And now she may get every year. You never. So here, this is a good example of co-branding, and then through co-branding, this fellow has talked about ingredient branding. So let's hear about ingredient branding. Porter has not done any research on ingredient branding. This fellow's research work was on ingredient branding, so he wrote a book on ingredient branding. But the Porter brand, see the association, not for ingredient but for the marketing. Correct? So I was trying to give you two concepts in one, through one video. So let's watch this. And I have switched off the fans because the fans noise was masking the voice of video. So if you need, once you finish the video, you can start the fan. Let's watch this good video.
Dear ladies and gentlemen,
Sound is very
Volume is very low. Wait, let me see. Maybe my computer volume is full. And there is no way to increase these volumes, right? They are fixed. They are fixed. So let's see. Let's try again. Whether
So
the
you
volume-
can add subtitles to it.
Oh, CC. Okay. I understood. You are saying CC.
dear ladies and gentlemen,
And is there CC on?
No, it's not on.
Why is I clicked on CC. Maybe there is no CC.
Nowadays YouTube create their own CC.
How do you do that?
I just click on CC.
So see, I'm doing that. Oh, you mean I open in the YouTube? Okay. Let me try to do that. And the slideshow. Go to ingredient branding. Copy this. And you have already done the internet connection? Okay. And I think CC is working. Oh, excellent. CC is working.
dear ladies and gentlemen,
Okay. Read.
this situation we call ingredient branding. Ingredient branding is a complex phenomenon, not truly what is actually behind it. If I mention the most famous case in the world, Intel inside. Intel ordered its chip to the end user in the products of the computer manufacturer. So Intel's HPs have Intel inside, Intel stickers on the machine, and Intel orders to the end user. The end user had to push to and post to because he knows that is good, is better than the competition. This kind of principle we find in many other industries. I started researching that this area in 2004 and redeveloped a book which is called The Brand. This book was full of many case studies which I worked out to from Poland and Finland, which is international. This book is very good and it's developed itself to the study to the discipline. Well, the question is, gives you a product, gives you a final product, which is suitable for different installations. So if you want this kind of product, nutrient is available, you need to go in what product you can find that. So therefore, what projects we have, label using Vertex logo, and production company is promoting this product, and Vertex in addition gives information that this feature is actually interesting for the customer can decide and can accommodate all this kind of fitted. So the question is, if you have other components which are are you ready for it? Can you afford it? Does it make sense for you? That is what we're talking for this. Thank you very much.
Okay.
42 lakhs per annum.
So,
Wow, 42 lakhs, that's your salary.
Yes.
And what do you do?
this
I'm
is
trying to
this is not my video. This is something
Right,
else.
and what degree did you pursue to become that?
So, okay. Let's go back. So it was, as you see, he first, based on his research, he first wrote the book in German language and then collaborated with reporter to convert that into whatever was. There is a better video on this, and again, that was the conceptual part I wanted you to see. But example I want to show you here what I said earlier class. I have the example here. You see on the top Swarovski. I hope this has a better sound. Audible?
When customers are blinded by choice, an unexpected accessory can make the difference. To unfold its true power, to make consumers' eyes shine bright, Crystal products need to follow a code of awareness, trust, and touchy emotions. Our new ingredient branding program lets your customers experience this code. It gives you the chance to mark your products with our newly developed Swarovski seal to highlight their premium nature, increase trust in your brand, and to signal you use the best crystals in the industry. It puts your product in the spotlight to convince your customers at the point of sale by offering tailored solutions that emphasize your partnership with Swarovski. It increases awareness by integrating your brand in our communication channels and by connecting your products to your target customers in order to raise your sales. It helps you gain deep customer insights by providing reports, access to expert panels and trainings to push crystal sales. And the best part of it, research shows that consumers are willing to pay 44% more for products marked with a Swarovski seal. Our new ingredient branding program, it's not just about crystals, it's the code that makes you sparkle. Join the program now and develop your own code with crystals from Swarovski. For more information, contact your customer representative or visit Swarovski.com/professional.
So, did you see that 44%, those jewelry makers, 44% sales increase when they started co-branding this product? Right? And this is an ingredient. What they are saying, the crystal used in jewelry is Swarovski. I gave you the example. I told you how my niece on her 16th birthday wanted this for $2,000. I could have given some gold, even diamond.
So sometimes this ingredient branding can reduce the value of the bigger brand.
So that is why the bigger brand will always be very careful in co-branding, ingredient branding.
What I'm seeing is in the mobile phone market,
Yeah,
iPhone and Samsung, they generally use Sony camera.
yeah,
Sony is not that big brand in the camera market, photography market.
correct.
but there is one brand that is Leica.
Yes,
MI,
Yes.
which is not a big brand in mobile phone market, is using Leica as an ingredient brand.
I know.
So
Oppo, for example, is doing that. Yeah.
Hasselblad is something different.
Yeah.
Oppo and OnePlus, they do Hasselblad, which is
I think Huawei, somebody is like that. Huawei?
Xiaomi
MI.
or MI.
Xiaomi or MI, okay.
They use Leica as their
Yeah.
brand.
Mhm.
Yes.
So Leica is the best
Ingredient branding.
ingredient.
Mm.
Leica is best.
Yeah.
So like, but their mobile phones, the photography through my phones are not that great as
Yeah.
compared to Samsung or iPhone.
Yeah.
So reducing the value of Leica.
Okay, good question. So first point is that remember, whenever we have any such problem, ingredient branding also we have to see with whom we are doing it and what do we want. So Intel wanted volume as a microprocessor. They did not discriminate. Volume means you don't discriminate. In fact, you get more market by telling others that listen, this one is microprocessor is Intel, rest of the things are irrelevant. That's what their position. And Intel did not lose its respect at all anyway. Correct? From top end to the low end, everybody uses Intel. Swarovski followed exactly the same way. That crystals, if the focus is on jewelry made of crystals, there is no better brand than Swarovski. So, but again, they did not go down to the low level of brands. What they did in fine jewelry also, they only targeted the high end because there was a risk of getting into what you are saying. If I collaborate with low end jewelry, low end brands of jewelry, then there is a possibility that my premium image will go away. So they did only with the very top end fine jewelry. But that itself added value to them, to Swarovski as well as to those guys. And as I shared, they also made for Swarovski where they only write Swarovski. Now, third thing that you talked about, camera. Here there are two reasons why it has happened. As you said, Apple and Samsung use Sony camera.
But they don't promote that.
Exactly.
I believe they promote it, but in a different way, like through influencer or the people who are like reviewing the product.
The social media influencers
Or
are what they
paid
are talking.
influencers who they pay them to review the product.
Correct. But in terms of marketing, advertising,
They
branding, they have not associated, they have not highlighted, they have not told anything. Sony also does not say anywhere that Sony camera is being used in Apple and Samsung. Now the problem is that Leica is with Xiaomi and MI that you are saying, these are Asian brands. And in Asia, many people are actually not aware of Leica as a brand. The lack of awareness. When there is a lack of awareness of a brand, but this is a huge market in terms of the volume, this is a huge market. Leica has recently means 10 years ago, decided to increase the volume because the original camera market sales are already in decline. So when they were market leader in the camera segment, where the cameras were, if you remember 10-15 years ago, everybody used to have a camera, digital camera, right? So at that time, they had their own premium market in developed part of the world and people knew about Leica. They were not focusing on the Asian markets at that time. If you go to Singapore, you can buy and bring it, only if you know it. Otherwise, you only knew certain names, right? So you will not buy it. When the sales started declining and they did not move up with other options like Kodak, for example, Kodak moved to a different kind of options. One is the Kodak movement thing that you might have seen. It's being built and marketed by creating services of a different kind in collaboration with others. If the time will permit, I'll give you a lot of examples of Kodak what they did. And more importantly, they moved to the films. What films? The ones that are used for the medical purpose with the GE equipment, etc. And also for the movie industry. So they moved into a different kind of segment. for Leica, they were not able to figure out how should they move and where should they move. And the camera market was declining. They still have professional cameras, but professional camera market is very little, very small.
Niche.
Yes, very niche. So that's not good enough for surviving a big organization, right? So they didn't have much choice. So what they had to do is, they thought that the only way is to make it a mobile camera and focus on the Asian market. Why Asian market? Because the developed world has already bought only two phones. It's either Apple or Samsung. In developed part, there is no third phone that people think about. But Asian market, and I'm saying large Asian, not just China, India, the whole area, Malaysia, Indonesia, this whole area. If you see, this market is a multi-brand market for the smartphones, correct? So MI, Oppo, Huawei, OnePlus, Xiaomi, all these are big brands in this market and they all are competing with each other. So they have to find some niche within this market where they can have presence. They cannot go to Samsung, they cannot go to Apple.
Yes, but in this Indian market or Asian market also, Samsung and Apple, they are predominant.
Agree. But then still the volume for Xiaomi and MI is not small in terms of the volume. So for their survival, they have no choice. So sometimes for survival reason, even so the good thing is that people don't know my brand. People don't know, in this market people don't know what Leica is. Only few people know about it. Okay, like you have knowledge, but not everybody has knowledge.
So Leica, I believe, I don't know about the developed countries, but Leica, I believe, Leica never targeted the consumer market. They were very niche towards only the
Professional cameras.
Yes.
Because those days professional cameras was a big market.
And that too only particular professional photographers who like into like wildlife or street or that kind of thing.
Correct. But that market has moved to the digital. That market also, those professional market, they still have professional cameras, but those are digital cameras and others have captured that market before Leica can do anything. So this is why Leica had no choice but to have some survival strategy. And nobody knows about Leica in this market, or very little people know. So when you do not have the brand awareness about your original brand in a different target market, this is a different target audience altogether, you create another brand equity. Because your other brand equity, original brand equity is declining. So here they created another brand equity. Now people know that MI and Xiaomi cameras are good because they are Leica. Correct? That's it. So it's not necessarily degrading that brand. When this market had no knowledge about it, there is no degradation or updation. Correct? It's kind of a new introduction in a new market.
Awareness kind of, awareness kind of.
So is that clear? But you are right. If your point was right, that if Swarovski or Leica or any brand in the same target audience, the problem of upgradation or degradation of the brand image is related to the target audience. If in the same target audience you do that problem, then you will lose the respect. So Swarovski crystals, if they are in jewelry market which already uses crystals, there is no problem as long as you are with the big brand. But if you go down to the lower quality fine jewelry brands, then you will lose the reputation because the target audience are same. Clear? And Intel doesn't apply because they wanted to be a mass product by strategy. Is this clear? Excellent. Anyone else has any other question? Yes.
So, in this mobile industry, Vivo as a brand,
Yeah.
that brand market the sensors of Sony as well as they market the Zeiss lenses that there. So, like other
Zeiss is a camera lenses.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, in addition of that sensors, they are marketing lenses. So, as a Sony as a brand, their market, like their products are is being used in all the mobile phones. Only Chinese brands are marketing their sensors. Other than I think Samsung or that what he
Apple.
mentioned. So whether that brand is missing something that like Sony is not collaborating with Samsung and Apple to market a little bit more to gain.
No, because Samsung and Apple are much bigger brand than Sony
So
in
if they
consumer
collaborate-
reputation.
If they collaborate, then they can gain much.
But collaboration is if I accept, na? See the problem, if Kotler has not accepted that professor's request, what will you do? So the big fellow has to accept it. It's not that Sony has not tried, but they don't want to accept it. In a smartphone industry, they don't want any other brand, they don't want other brands to be highlighted. But other brands, because they don't have that respect and image, they are building the brand by co-branding or ingredient branding.
So another question, I'm just little bit like this ingredient branding and co-branding, it is getting little bit blurred because I am not from marketing background. So
It's
can
not
you-
blurred.
Like from my perspective, I'm
Ingredient
getting-
branding is a kind of co-branding.
Okay.
So your doubt, it's not blurred, it's clear to you. It's a kind of co-branding. Co-branding takes many shapes, many ways. So this is one of those. That's why I started with the Bap, now Bacha.
Okay, so is it ingredient branding like I am using like you given the example of that crystal? It was a product and that has been used as an ingredient of a jewelry.
Yes,
That's why
yes.
it is ingredient.
Yes,
Okay.
but this is a co-branding as well.
Yes.
Because Swarovski is being co-branded by that fellow. That fellow is getting advantage. They are getting 44% more sale. They are getting more price. And for Swarovski, my market is increased. My target segment is increased. I got a new market. Understand the benefit? Remember one thing in life. Nothing is free. There is no free lunch. Anything that happens, there is always what we call give and take. So Swarovski gives something to get something.
In finance, we also call ki there is no free lunch.
There is no free lunch, my friend. Nowhere. Your question is answered? Excellent. Anyone has any other question? Oh, Kishore Kumar is also there on my computer. Very good. Okay. Dada is there. Anyone else has any other question? What happened? This video could not be played. Why?
I think
This is not porn video. It's right? Okay, I have to use the same method that our good friend wrote. This is the third concept. We are now moving to brand alliance. Okay? Now, brand alliance, when I am saying, that's also co-branding, but of a different type. So let's see how it happens. So I copy and paste it somewhere else. This is what I am talking, licensing. So alliance, one way to alliance is licensing. Oh, where is my D? I think I closed it.
बहुत सारे लोग समझते हैं कि 4 दिन में मुझसे सीख ही नहीं सकते हो मैं
ये
आपसे
मेरा वीडियो नहीं है ना।
4 दिन में
Okay. So this is brand licensing guideline. Can you get too fast? Oh, how do I slow down? Huh? Is there a way to slow down?
Setting.
Okay, it's coming. Because this is like that only. It's a okay. Just change the speed. So basically, this is a. If you see here, what it says, getting started in brand license. So this is a brand license guidebook. Okay. So that's why it's like that. So, but little slower if you can do. You see that brand license guidebook? Is the slowest? You guys know, anybody knows how to slow it? Now it's slow. Now it's slow. Okay. Okay now? Okay. So please keep reading this. Just watch this and then I will explain. Please be more focused here. It's an 8-step process. So you focus here, each step.
What is the speed?
You guys want little more speed or this is okay? Okay? They want it this way. Okay. Yeah, they want it this way.
The video will take 28 minutes.
Huh?
Like 7-minute video, we slowed it down for by 4 months. So it will increase by 28 minutes.
You said 28 minutes.
It will take 15 minutes.
So you want a little bit more?
That's okay. That's all. That's all.
Okay, correct.
And now you can make it normal.
This is correct, correct.
Speed.
Now I think you can put normal with CC. CC. Yeah.
And I wasn't,
What happened? Where did it go?
hi, my name is Hugh Simpson, and I was listening to Robert Allen. You remember him probably from Nothing Down, real estate fame, but he also wrote a book about multiple streams of income. And he was talking about what this gentleman next to me was going to be talking about, Carolithio, brand licensing. And he has an incredible background. He came from Coca-Cola, and from there he went to the company that was Rubbermaid. What's it called now, Pete? It's a great years. Newell Rubbermaid now. Great to be here. Right. Now, tell me what brand licensing is.
Okay, brand licensing is a technique that not too many folks know about, but it's a tremendous way to get a brand into the marketplace, extend a brand into a category it isn't in currently. So, for example, Newell Rubbermaid has a Rubbermaid licensing program. Rubbermaid should be in a certain number of categories of product, but they can't afford to do all of those products themselves. It's just not practical. So what they do is they find third-party manufacturers who are best in class in the categories that they should be in, and they use that to supplement or complement what they're currently doing in manufacturing. So let me give you an example. Rubbermaid brand is all about storage and organization. Well, they help you organize your laundry room, your garage, and your closet. And in one particular case, in the closet example, they produce a certain number of products that help you organize your life. But there's other products manufactured by a third-party company, and they complement what Rubbermaid's Rubbermaid brand does. And the way that works is the third-party manufacturer gets the rights, they borrow the brand, they have to follow certain guidelines, but they manufacture the product, and they pay Rubbermaid a royalty, a percentage of their net sales in exchange for that privilege. And of course that helps that manufacturer get more business because now they're coming to certain retailers with a Rubbermaid brand.
I believe that happened with Glock here, right in Atlanta, because they're famous for their gun. Glock, which everybody carries, at least compartments and military carry. But there's also a Glock knife, and I figured that, and I read, I think, where they went to the biggest and best knife manufacturing operation, and then in turn turned it into a Glock knife, so it has that world famous Glock knife now.
That's a perfect example of a licensing, a brand licensing relationship. And the thing about it is, if you know what your brand's position is, in other words, what's it stand for in the marketplace, then you can find other products that you should be in the marketplace providing. And why would you manufacture your own knife when there's a best-in-class manufacturer out there who can put your brand attributes into their product and then give you best-in-class distribution, connection with your consumer, and complement what you're currently doing in your core business and let you stay focused on your core business as that brand owner.
And boy, the movie industry uses it, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I went to a Toy Story would probably be a perfect example where they tie in with the movie and the toys and everything like that.
Exactly. Many many feature films are produced specifically for all the brand licensing that will occur afterwards. So it's like, okay, let's line up all the different categories of merchandise and then create a feature film to launch that merchandise.
Oh, wow. I think that was what happened with G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe was out for many years, and then they finally created the G.I. Joe movie to complement the toys.
It supercharges the brand, it gets it back out in the eye of the consumer, and then they create all kinds of new opportunities for manufacturers to connect with those consumers through the merchandise that's featured in the film.
And I've actually worked with the NFL and went to New York. And well, you talk about protecting their brand. The National Football League really protects them.
The NFL is one of the best examples of brand licensing. They have one of the biggest, if not the biggest, brand in the sports arena, and it is very lucrative. So if you have the opportunity to get a license with the NFL, you know you've kind of hit the pinnacle for sports manufacturer licensing.
And we also looked with our company, we were working with a guy that had come up with a cool thing. Do you remember Dallas, the television show?
Oh, sure.
And it was the last episode about the swimming pool and who killed JR or whatever. And we talked to them about licensing that product. And I was really amazed. It was not that much. It was not that much that they were asking that we would receive. I mean, we were receiving a nice amount, but it wasn't that much for us to get a product license.
No, it really is. It really, there's a couple of factors, but the first one is, where are you going to go with your product? So what category, what retailers, what region, and then you come up with a kind of an overall estimate of what you're going to sell, and then a very small percentage of that is provided to the brand owner up front, and then you agree a royalty rate. And for best-in-class brands, that can be 10%, 12%, but for up-and-coming brands, maybe it's 5 or 6%. So it's not that much to give that manufacturer the chance to get out in the marketplace with a brand that everyone knows and loves.
Well, this was our first video promoting his package that's coming out. It's an incredible package. Here's an expert. Robert Allen was saying that there was only 2 books that he had found written about brand licensing. Now we have Pete Canalicchio, who has come from Coca-Cola and Little Rubbermaid and has an incredible background. What will our next video be talking about?
And the next video talks about where to play. What category should you be extending your brand in? And then we talk a little bit about how to win.
You had seen about the brand licensing, which is a great way to generate extra money, enhance the brand equity when you have built a brand. So this is a different way of doing it. In ingredient branding, you are actually putting your product in it. You are selling the product here. Now you are not selling the product. You are making money by building the brand. So many examples. He started with a sports. So I thought event brand I can talk about. In America, this is like you have IPL here, right? Everybody knows IPL? So we have IPL, and same way in America, people are crazy about NFL. The American football. American football is not the soccer. It's not round like this. It's an oval shape, and it's not hit with the leg. It is thrown by hand, and people like kabaddi, kabaddi, they come together and fight. Kind of rugby. It's not exactly rugby, but it's kind of, you can say. So, NFL is the biggest brand, sport brand in America. And what they have done is they have started licensing that brand called NFL. The full form is National Football League. But for branding purpose, they brand it as NFL. And they have started branding it with sports products. And because everybody knows this brand, it's popular, it's a household name. You know, the first thing, if you want to become Americanized, is to understand the NFL and watch an NFL game. And when that season comes, you will find people talking about NFL. Yesterday night, great, you know, and they go to the game, they watch it. Tickets are so expensive, they still buy $500 ticket for normal seats, sometimes black marketing. And you know, I booked the ticket and I'm not going there, but I bought 10 tickets, so I sell at a high price, you know. So it's, I don't do it, I'm saying people, I don't have time for all that.
So which is more bigger, like NFL or basketball?
NFL, not NBL, that's National Basketball. No, NFL is the biggest. No, I mean, as I said, it's a household name. Basketball is not a household name.
But
yeah,
we have created Michael Jordan with Nike, but NFL has not created something like
so that Nike and that you are talking about, that is a co-branding they did with Jordan because he was famous football player. But NBA is not famous. Here, it's not a particular football player who is famous. There are famous football players, but they are talking about the event as a big brand. Okay? So as an event, this is the biggest brand. The Michael Jordan is a sports celebrity like Sachin Tendulkar. Correct? But in the sports brand, if you talk about in India, for cricket, the biggest brand is IPL. Understand? It's like that. So there are some players who are famous, but they are famous only certain time. But NFL is an event that has been there for decades and is going to be in perpetuity. So they started licensing for a sports brand and started making more money. But I have a better example that I wanted to tell. Today, Disney, significant revenue of Disney, significant revenue, and that is more than 1/3, is coming not from the films. You know, they make films, they also make cartoon films, and they have theme park, Disneyland. I think closest to you is in Hong Kong, right? So there is Disneyland all over the world. Of course, the main one is in Orlando, Florida state in US. And the second one that they started was in Anaheim in near Los Angeles in the West Coast, California state. So Disneyland, so theme park, originally it was all about theme park. They started with theme park. And then from theme park, they went into the entertainment and started making movies. But not just their brand Disney, the characters. You know those characters? Yeah, Mickey Mouse, Minnie, and I'm sorry, many other characters. They became so famous that they started licensing. Today, you have clothing, which is Disney branded clothing with those characters, very expensive. They don't make it. They don't make any of them. They are made by several and they don't have any exclusive licensing. There could be exclusive licensing only to a company and nobody else can use it. Neither NFL nor Disney has any exclusive licensing. So for example, if you are a t-shirt manufacturer, he is also a t-shirt manufacturer, you both can get the license from the same country, same state, same city. You pay license fee, he pays license fee, and I will license to both of you. Same brand, same character. So character, logo is that word mark logo because they use Disney word with R there in a style, right? So that is making this, as I said, more than 1/3 of the revenue is coming from franchising. Sorry, licensing, not franchising. Franchising is different. By licensing their brand elements. Brand elements. Because one is the word mark logo, also the name. Correct? So they are, in case of NFL, it is only the brand name that's being licensed. In case of Disney, it is brand name as well as other element like the characters that they are using. Clear, my friend? Japanese have Hello Kitty. Actually, it's a company. First, it came with Hello Kitty as a character, and they made Japanese film on Hello Kitty, and this became so popular amongst the girls that they started licensing the character, the Hello Kitty character, to put on pencil box, school bag. You see the girls, what is it called? Hairband, Hello Kitty hairband, clips. So they started licensing, and same thing, Hello Kitty even clothing now. So Hello Kitty initially was doing exclusive licensing for different product categories to different people. But now they also do not sign exclusive license. They also for same product they sign multiple licenses. Plus Hello Kitty is no more limited to Japan. Hello Kitty has become an international brand for girls. Not only the school girls, even university girls or even grown-up women who always do not want to go beyond their teenage or beyond their schooling age. So you will find means the child inside them is always alive. So Hello Kitty. Now this company became so successful with Hello Kitty, they have no products. They have no product. They only have character. And they made money by licensing character. Now they have many characters that they have created in Japan. Of course, no other character is as successful as Hello Kitty. But within Japan, they have created the character for boys. They have even created a character for gender neutral people. Okay? All kinds of characters they have created, and they just license character and make money. I'm working on a project on this, the characters impact on individuals' purchasing behavior with a professor in Japan. So that's Hello Kitty. Jeep I already told you. Jeep, now remember, why they got extended to those categories? Because of the fun and entertainment, that everybody is relevant to everybody. So they all are associated with fun and entertainment product. They are not associated with serious product. So you may have a Hello Kitty or Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse plaster. You know plaster, right? That you can have for children. Yeah, Band-Aid, what we call Band-Aid normally, but that's called plaster. Band-Aid is a brand name. So you can have, Band-Aid is a brand name, it's not a product name. Product is called plaster. So that plaster, you may have character. So especially when you go to pediatric doctors, they never have the normal Band-Aid. They have Band-Aid brand, co-branded with Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse or Hello Kitty or something like that. But imagine somebody's heart surgery is to be done and the equipment that will be used says Hello Kitty equipment being used or Disney equipment will be used for your heart surgery. What will happen? It's a serious matter. You cannot associate fun with that, right? Especially somebody who is in the cardiology department waiting for his heart to be operated or open heart. You can't make fun, right? That fellow is already in stress. So this is the point, that they got this association. The licensing is also along with same audience requirement, and that association one should not forget. The Jeep was known for ruggedness, as I told you, long-lasting ruggedness, adventure. So they associated it with the shoes and the clothing, which was meant for hiking and those kind of things, you know, rough and tough things. And they also made the luggage. Remember I told you about luggage? So suitcase. So they made suitcase. Unfortunately, when they licensed this to the Chinese brand, see, Chinese are very crazy people. They manufacture everything and they get the licenses from American brands because they are crazy about American brands. So they got Jeep as a license. And when they marketed that, they thought on the Jeep brand they will be successful. But actually what happened? The luggage was not strong enough. The association is ruggedness, but that association is not working. So the Jeep will terminate this license after the time is over. It's signed for a certain number of years, and after that they are going to terminate because it's not adding any value to the Jeep brand. So we can have a failure like this. This is another thing that they were talking about, the film characters. I don't know, in India we had only one, I think, where Lord Ganesha, there was one film where Ganesha was there, right? And that Lord Ganesha then became part of a toy kind of thing, and one Bajrangi Bhaijaan ke baad that Bajrangbali. You see, in car you will find the toy kind of Bajrangbali, correct? So, I mean, it does hurt someone's sentiments, but some people still feel that Hanumanji is there. So, whatever it is, but they try to do the licensing, actually not licensing. These people made without any license, correct? So, companies can put the claim against them, but nobody bothers about it.
Sir,
Yes.
So regarding this technology,
Yeah.
so like Disney was like it's
Fun and entertainment.
it was not a commodity.
No.
Once like I believe once they started licensing,
Yeah.
it is a commodity. Are they treated as commodity now?
No. The branding with fun and entertainment is so strongly associated that even if you buy a t-shirt only for $5 with that character, people still believe that it is the original Disney product. So,
there are a lot of counterfeits or replicas
Of course.
these products.
of course, there are. That's what I'm saying. $5, $5 to $50. The regular one is $50. But you get also for $5, which is a counterfeit, right? But the $5 buyer is not person like you and me. It's a different buyer. For that buyer, in his perception, it is original. So that's what the target audience concept is. So these ones, actually these films, they created characters and they became collectibles. So for example, when my son was small, this was, there was a series of characters, figurine and toys with this. And he used to collect G.I. Joes. And he used to ask me, Papa, you are going to America, I want G.I. Joes. So I used to laugh at him. What will you do with these G.I. Joes? I used to call him, hey G.I. Joe, like that. So that is very popular. And with Toy Story, this film, as some of you might have watched, this also created a lot of toys. Then have you heard about, maybe you people might have watched, because that was the latest and international film. It means everybody, everywhere in the world it was launched, called Baby Boss. Baby Boss. What? Very nice movie, right? Even adults watch and kids also watch. And Baby Boss also had 1, 2, 3 like series. So based on that, they have created a lot of toys. They license the brand. So there are Baby Boss toys now in America. And people buy them because that is such a cute character. It's a cartoon film, right? So these are some of the examples of licensing, as I was telling you. And licensing is a big business. So if you build a brand, licensing is a big business for you to make money.
So
Yes.
During our childhood days, when we used to have a chips packet, in that
Yeah.
there used to come some
toy.
TVs.
Pikachu.
Yes.
Pikachu, yes.
Was there a co-branding or licensing?
Licensing. So Pikachu was also a film, character cartoon film, and then they licensed that to create certain kind of toys, you know, Pikachu, what is it called, like a top also, you know, but it was Beyblade kind of thing. So they made certain kind of things which were licensed.
Okay, they had to license their product from
Yeah.
the filmmaker or the animator.
Correct. They have to pay the money because
So it's kind of co-branding.
exactly, that's what I'm saying, that these are all different versions of co-branding. Correct? The only difference is that when we are using this, actually we are using only one brand. We are not using our own brand. So like when you have a Disney t-shirt, maybe it is made by Coimbatore Textile Limited, suppose. But the Coimbatore CTM is not co-branded. Co-branded means the two brands should come together in some way.
But in case of these chips,
Yeah, so Uncle Chips, for example, it used to come inside that, right? So you had Uncle Chips outside, and inside you had that character. But that character did not say Uncle Chips. So that character was given as a gift to you. Understand? So it was still Uncle Chips, a licensed toy for the kid, but the Uncle Chips was selling chips, and inside you were getting a toy. Of course, that company has licensed it, but they didn't mention their name. They mentioned only Pikachu. Is that clear? So co-branding means that
Intel doesn't mention any retail,
it's mentioned in all laptop. That's what I was showing you. He has HP computer. You must see there. It's a very special sticker, hologram, that is put on all computers.
That is ingredient branding.
That's
This is
ingredient
co-branding. Co-branding legally should have two names together.
Correct. So, but that's why I said in case of ingredient branding, the Dell may say something like this: Dell with NTM processor. So that Intel processor. So that is not exactly co-branding, but a type of. Understand? So, and that's how the ingredient is different from the co-branding. Co will simply mean two names have to come together, right? Like Kotler and Kotter. So those are the two names coming together.
Coca-Cola, IBM, Toshiba, BPL,
Yes. Yes.
The way do we put Hot Wheels in this scenario?
Hot Wheels is itself is a different brand.
Kellogg's also.
Character based brand.
Kellogg's also co-brand.
Yeah, no, he's talking about Hot Wheels. So Hot Wheels as a car, there were films.
Yes, sir.
From those films, those cars, those character cars were taken, and then they started making, the Hot Wheels brand was licensed to a toy manufacturer who makes only the kids cars, the toys. That's the licensing. Yeah, sorry, what you were saying?
Kellogg's.
Kellogg's is its own cereal. Which is the licensed cereal you are talking about?
No, I'm asking about co-brand.
Yes, Kellogg's has done co-branding for certain things like the snack bar, for example. But it's not exactly co-branding. The way they put their name, it's called brand endorsement. So brands also endorse, not the celebrity. Celebrity endorsement I'll talk today, but there is a brand endorsement. That brand can endorse another brand or another product. Another product itself. So Kellogg endorsed bar, you know, the protein bar. So that is called K bar. Just to avoid any damage to Kellogg, which is known for cereals, what they have done is they created another brand called K. Same Kellogg, first letter is taken out and it's called K bar. So this is, they are marketing, somebody may be manufacturing, but they are not marketing. Marketing is done by Kellogg itself, and for that they have created a separate brand which is called endorsed brand. So they get the bar and they call it K bar. Understand? That's all. Okay, we'll take a break here. It's your tea time. So have your tea, and 10 minutes after that we'll come back and we'll talk about celebrity. Okay. So celebrity endorsement, it has been an age-old practice. It's not today's, it's age-old practice. Okay? It has always been there. And very simple thing about this is, you are using well-known and admired people. Well-known and admired people to promote products, physical goods and services. That is what is called celebrity.
Gandhiji and Kalika.
Gandhiji and
Kalika.
Khadi, yes, absolutely. So the Khadi Gramodyog, which is a cooperative work, was promoted with Mahatma Gandhi as a logo. Mahatma Gandhi is that goggles, chashma, एक लकड़ी वाला, एक गाय,
Yes, sir.
right? That chashma and just the head. That is the logo of Khadi Gramodyog. So it's a cooperation industry created in villages through cooperative, and that was branded like that in independent India. But that's not the only thing that we are talking about. You all know Dada. Who is Dada? Saurabh Dada. See, this girl is so intelligent. She can immediately, the moment I said Dada, she found Saurabh Dada. Saurabh Dada is selling everything. Correct? He is, when he comes in the advertisement, he is talking about products. He is saying, I use this, right? These days you see another advertisement, this Shah Rukh Khan and Amitabh Bachchan. They are doing some shooting. And suddenly they smell chole masale and they run. Everest chole masale. Correct? So this is called celebrity endorsement. In a very subtle way they are endorsing. But sometimes it's not subtle. Like Dada sold a lot of things in a very explicit manner. When Sunil Gavaskar, in my time, like you people, for you people I think it's not Dhoni, Virat Kohli or that Sharma, what is his name? Rohit Sharma. So that may be your hero. But in my time the cricket hero was Sunil Manohar Gavaskar. Okay? Kapil Dev came after that. So Sunil Manohar Gavaskar, do you know about him?
Yes, sir.
Before Sachin Tendulkar, he broke all international records. Okay, so that fellow was the hero. So when he retired from the cricket, all the retirement schemes, UTI pension scheme, LIC pension scheme, then mutual funds, retirement funds, all of them use Sunil Manohar Gavaskar because he was icon for youth. He was a celebrity. The moment he retired, people wanted, these companies wanted to take the advantage of saying that, see, this fellow after retirement, I have invested in this, so my life is comfortable. That's endorsement, okay? And these are the rationale why these things were. So, a famous person can do these kind of things. This is why they become successful in endorsing the products. So many of them, Sachin Tendulkar does that, Dhoni does that, right? Even actresses are endorsing the products. So celebrity endorsed, Wahtaj was Zakir Hussain. I think Zakir Hussain died now,
Yes, sir.
the tabla player. So he will play nicely and then he will say, people will say wah, then he will say wah na boliye, wah. Correct? And then he will drink that Taj tea. So he is clearly, explicitly endorsing the Taj tea. Correct? So this is called celebrity endorsement. You all know about it. So there is nothing big about it, but there is something that I want to talk about this.
Movies also actors try to endorse brands.
That's called
Pseudo.
that's called placement. So you place the products in the films. Sometimes explicitly, sometimes in a very subtle manner. So you will see something behind, you know, actually that company has paid money. So they are not endorsing the film, but they are advertising. So that's the difference between advertising and endorsement. So that's a technique for advertising. Endorsement is where a celebrity is directly giving an impression to people that the celebrity is a user, consumer, correct? Those kind of things.
Nowadays, celebrities have their own brand.
Yeah, some celebrities have, because they have become the brand, they extend that brand or license that brand, both ways. Sometimes we think it's their brand, but it is not. They are licensing, and sometimes they create their own brand. So that's also happening because they have built a brand. They are taking advantage of that brand. But endorsement is when you are endorsing someone else's brand, right? Then it's called endorsement. So for example, this famous lady Shilpa Shetty, she became famous because of Rajkundra. After marriage, before marriage she was famous for herself. After marriage, Rajkundra made her famous. So Shilpa Shetty these days advertises a product, food product, which is very famous, Lakshmi brand. Have you seen the brand called Lakshmi? Lakshmi? You haven't seen that advertisement? I think it's focusing more on northern India and western India. Lakshmi brand of food grains, spices, atta, rice, that is actually, as on today, the best Indian grocery products brand, Lakshmi. But it started, just imagine, this brand was started in United States. Okay? No advertising, no Shilpa Shetty on the package, nothing. It was started in United States, and only thing that they did was quality. They ensured that whatever they sell is the highest quality. And the first product that Lakshmi brand was created for was besan. You know besan? Besan, everybody knows? Besan was a product that Americans were not aware of. So when Indians are in America, you know the besan is a very important component for Indian food. Correct? Like pakoda. We love pakodas of different kind. You call it chop, right? Aloo chop, anda chop. That is made of besan. So what Americans do, they use maida, the fine wheat flour, for making their pakodas or burger or whatever you call. But Indians needed besan, and the besan was not available in America. The people who were trying to market was very poor quality. Lakshmi created the best besan. They sourced from the best grain, the gram, in India, got it grounded in the best mill, packaged it in such a way that it does not get exposed to humidity and anything that affects the quality of besan. And they came with the besan and they became famous for the quality overnight in US. And then few years ago, not long ago, just 10 years ago, they decided to do all kinds of, within grocery, all kinds of foods and spices, only foods and spices. And because that brand Lakshmi got strongly associated with the quality, look at here, quality for edible product, that was besan, not for anything else. So Lakshmi got associated and they started making wheat flour. And you know, in India the best wheat flour is made of wheat from Madhya Pradesh. I am forgetting its name. The wheat as a brand from Madhya Pradesh, that is the best wheat flour, the most expensive within the country. Sharbati atta, Sharbati gehu ka atta, Sharbati it is called, and that is specifically found in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. So they used that to create atta. They created first the basmati rice. Later, they have even come up with the rice which is very famous in southern India. What is that called? You know, southern India? Ponni rice. So they came with ponni rice, and there is another rice that is quite famous in the northern and western part of India. It is called Masuri, Sona Masuri. You know, you might have heard that. So 3 brands of rice under Lakshmi brand, they say, sold. Now that brand became so popular in America that Indians, when they come from America to here, and now you know that Indians earlier used to buy from hot, like you said hot, or from the farmers, or from mandi, right? The different terms are used. They started talking about the branding. So India also started branding the food grains. Shakti Bhog, for example, is an Indian brand. ITC created a brand called Ashirwad. Yes, Ashirwad. Tatas have recently went into the organic food grains under the name Sampan, correct? Yeah, they also make the spices and all kinds of products. So when this started, when Americans came to India, they will ask in their families, you people don't get Lakshmi here? Because they all thought that Lakshmi is coming from India. Of course, the material is coming from India, but the brand is only American brand. So the company, the Lakshmi owner, a Gujarati fellow, he got an idea that why not bring that brand from America to India. So he has now brought the Shakti brand here, and Shilpa Shetty is the brand ambassador. No, celebrity endorser, not difference between brand endorser and celebrity endorser. So she became celebrity endorser, and you will see her using Lakshmi atta and making chapati at home. So this is a celebrity endorsement even for commodity. Commodity is now branded. Atta, dal, chawal kya hai? It's a commodity, right? For my mother, even these branded products are not good. So what my mother does, she calls somebody in my village, she lives in Lucknow, my village is 200 kilometers from there, somebody she will come on phone and she will say, you hire the jeep, she still calls jeep, jeep means the SUV kind of thing where you can put a lot of things. And this brand of gehu, this brand of chawal, this brand of pili sarson, you know pili sarson, yellow mustard, all these things, chana, उसके यहाँ से, उसके यहाँ से, उसके यहाँ से इतना इतना केजी खरीद के लखनऊ ले आओ, and she will pay for the whole service. So all that comes there, then she calls the maid to get it clean, and we have a villa, so we are not in the apartment. So the villa has the roof, and that roof is also having mosaic, you know mosaic kind of thing? Yes. Mosaic is a kind of flooring. So it is clean, and then those are dried in that sun. Then a servant will take the wheat to the chakki mill, which are very rare now, they are closing down, so, and then it is grounded there. So for my mother, that's the only acceptable food. She doesn't enjoy the food that we have in America. We use this Shilpa Shetty food. Lakshmi, she doesn't like it. She says, ye bekar ka aata, ye bekar ka chawal. So that is the concept, that's commodity. For my mother, that's still a commodity. Okay, there is no brand like that. Brand of rice may be there, but that is not further branded by those packaging people. But for many of us, especially the new generation, your generation, living in big cities, you do not have trust on that kind of thing. What you want is the branded product, correct? And that's why a lot of companies in food industry, processed food industry, we call it processed food industry, they are making a lot of money. So that's a business that they have created. So celebrity endorsement became successful because of this reason, and it is everywhere. Now, what happens with celebrity endorsement? There are a lot of problems with human celebrities. First of all, the first problem was that what I just discussed is skepticism whether Shilpa Shetty really is cooking. It's skepticism. So we do not always trust the celebrities for everything, which was the fundamental concept behind celebrity endorsement. So that money is getting into waste. So in our digital era, we have social media, correct? And people, your generation specifically, spend significant amount of time on social media. Agree or not? And amongst the social media, you people spend, I guess, a lot of time on Instagram. Agree? What is the other social media that you people use? Snapchat. Snapchat is popular here?
Yes.
I thought it's dead.
Still popular.
It's still popular. What other social media? Facebook is still for young people? It's for old people. Talk about your generation. What are your social media? YouTube is still valid for you guys? Oh, I'm surprised. In America, YouTube, Facebook, these are for old people. Which one? Oh, very nice. Any other social media? For young generation?
Threads are there.
Which one?
Threads. Instagram.
Instagram, yes. You said something else. Twitter. Twitter is already killed by Elon Musk. X, R. It's R or X? X. So that X is not popular anymore. You say it's popular here in India, but in America everybody hates X plus. Huh? Threads by Meta. Yeah, Threads. That's relatively new. Relatively. I'm not sure how popular it is. So anyway, so a lot of time is spent on social media. And on this social media, suddenly you might have seen the craze when people, normal people, are talking about certain products, certain brand. They create their own cooking show on YouTube, for example. They don't know that cooking. That might be the most tasteless cooking, but they will cook something and they will show. So I use this brand of oil. There are many oil available, but this brand is what I prefer. I like, it gives me the taste. Have you seen that? And the utensil also they will show you. So I am using this non-stick. There are many non-stick in the market, but I use this non-stick. You have seen that, right? Now these are called social influencers. So they are on social media. You watch them, you relate to them. You think that they are people like us. So that is more realistic for them. So celebrity endorsement market is declining. You know there are agencies, it was a business to sign up with celebrities, a contract that every year I will get you this much revenue. Then I as an agency go to different brands to market this celebrity and make the commission out of that. Take more money from the brand, give you the money that I have agreed, and whatever is surplus is mine. So this was a big business, and celebrity endorsement business is fast declining, very fast declining because of the social influencers. Now a lot of these social influencers, they look very, very common, and that's why we get more influence. Masses get more influence, and it's very targeted influence because if you are interested in cooking, you will see the cooking reel or cooking show. If you are interested in tourism, they will show you that they have gone to a particular place and what they have seen and things like that. And then based on the subscription, they get some money, right? So that has become a very big business in this country and worldwide. It's a big business worldwide. Now, these social influencers get money because of the subscription, more subscription. That's why they say like, subscribe, something like that before you further watch, correct? So by doing that, they get money, and when they become famous, the brands approach them and give them money to talk about it in a neutral way. Sometimes they may not give money, they may give in kind. That means they may give a lot of free products to them. Understand? So free products also may be given to them. So for different regions, people do those kind of things. So they are called social influencers. Now social influencers became famous because of their acceptance in the society. But the social influencers also have the problem of the human. Like Shilpa Shetty had a big setback when Raj Mundra was caught, arrested, right? So these problems can happen with social influencers as well. Some of them get into big trouble, like in Bihar there is a lady called Akshara Singh. Have you heard about Akshara Singh?
Yes.
Yes.
How come these people are not good? Your generation has made her popular. Okay, and you don't know her. Only American ones.
No, they are Indian.
Indian influencers. Humans. have this problem with the human influence. So now what is happening? The companies are smart. They cannot take the risk. Okay? So they have gone to the next level. And that next level is about, sorry, I'll come back to this. I already talked about NFL, if you remember, IPL, NFL. So it's about that, but the wrong sequence. So what they are resorting to is the virtual influencer. And I think I shared with you, China has created factory of virtual influencers. It's called factory. They are producing virtual influencer of the skin color, the body type, the gender type, the language in which you want them to speak, because AI can enable and modify it quickly. So if you see here, I will show you this film, then you can see that it's a small film. This lady's name is Lil Michaela. You see there, Lil. Lil was called Little. Little in American language is called Lil. Michaela is her name. Now this lady is the highest paid celebrity endorser today in the world. Highest paid. So let's watch a little bit about her and let's see how many of you think, but I have told so you may not think, but when I show it in my NYU class, I first hide everything. I don't write virtual thing. And then I ask people, who is this lady? Have you seen it? And then people say, yeah, some film we have seen it. I think she's an actress. You know, something like they talk about it. But let's see what it is. No, this is ad. It's not like this. Why is that?
It is at right side, sir.
Yeah,
Right side, lower bottom.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. This is restricted. Why it's not restricted? Yeah.
Ever imagine getting
Yeah,
DM on
that-
Instagram from what you thought
that-
was an
yeah,
account
that-
operated by a real human being like yourself, only to realize that this beautiful human lookalike was little Michaela, a CGI robot and the most famous member of the fast-rising brand of virtual influencers that are taking the world by storm. Since Michaela's project began as an Instagram profile in 2016, this CGI and an almost fictional character has been upending social media influencers with their brand of virtual influencing. With over 3 million followers on Instagram, nearly 400,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and a robust following on other social media platforms like Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok, Michaela is actively disrupting the entertainment and fashion worlds as we know them. And the 19-year-old robot is fast unseating human influencers as the next super influencer of the internet. But how did Michaela come to be? Who created this CGI robot that's taking the world by storm? And what exactly is CGI, or virtual influencing? You absolutely want to watch this video to the very end, as we'll be taking a deep dive into the life of little Michaela, the most famous CGI robot yet, and like it's never been done before. So, keep up. Michaela Sosa, or as she's better known, Little Michaela, is one CGI robot that has risen to fame in such a blistering manner and continues to make people all over the world fall in love with her and her brand of influencing. Michaela is fast rising as a music star with multiple songs to her name and millions of streams across the biggest streaming platforms. She's likewise fast earning the reputation as a top-earning supermodel, having worked with some of the most respected brands in the industry. Yes, we're talking of Calvin Klein, Prada, and Dior, headlining marketing campaigns, shows, and events for these brands. As it stands, Michaela's band of teeming fans and followers just can't seem to get enough of her. Brud, the creator of Michaela and two other famed CGI robots, Blanco and Bermuda, is not very well known. All of the information available about this mystic company creating mystifying CGI robots is that it's a transmedia studio that makes fictional characters that live in the real world like every other normal human being. And that's pretty much it. But maybe robots is leading the way with Michaela as these early CGI robots that are clearly and already paving the way for more CGI robots to follow shortly. Michaela would certainly be more successful than the large majority of real humans who are her ardent fans. It's been only 6 years since Brud created her Instagram account, and since she gained mainstream popularity, but in this rather short period, Michaela's fame and growing influence on the world has sent shockwaves across the globe. Just 2 years after her creation, Michaela had the honor and privilege of being named as one of Time's 25 most influential people on the internet, a feat many of us can only dream of. But while Michaela's looks might still make her appear like some movie character to many internet users even today, an interesting fact about her is that she's much more real than that and can have real interactions with just about anyone in real time, physically and on the internet, including you. Michaela's interesting character is based on a permanently teenage Instagram model from Delhi, California, who has half Brazilian and half Spanish roots and pursuing her music dream in Los Angeles. Before Michaela was made public via that first Instagram post in 2016, her creator, Brud, felt she deserved a chance at a better life and essentially reprogrammed her to have human-level consciousness. Following her reprogramming, Michaela got a new and super improved mainframe that enables her to think and act almost exactly like a human. She quickly earned the admiration of many young internet users and gained a massive following, especially on Instagram within a very short while. Since her breakout as a viral virtual influencer, Michaela has gone on to have real physical encounters with real humans a countless number of times, especially celebrities. She's joined human rights advocacies, starred for the biggest brands as a model, created widely loved music, and even donated to various charitable causes. Across her social media platforms, she addresses her followers as Michaelians and constantly engages them in what has yielded great results in helping her feel very comfortable navigating a world of people who aren't like her. Michaela has also channeled great time and energy into her music. She's dropped 10 singles and topped Spotify charts with her mainly indie pop hits, garnering millions of streams in the process. She's likewise gone on to collaborate with top music talents in the world, especially following the success of her debut single, Not Mine, which she released in 2017. Her songs have since then exploded, debuting amassed almost 16 million net streams across platforms. Given her global fame and unique talents, Michaela was quickly signed up by one of the world's biggest talent agencies, the Creative Arts Agency, or CAA, which manages some other top talents in the world like Ariana Grande, Will Smith, and even the US President Joe Biden. And being the first ever virtual influencer to be signed to CAA, Michaela has also been using her fame and lending her voice to spreading awareness, advocating for equality, and also pushing and supporting forward-thinking brands. She's widely viewed by her fans to be an ambitious dream chaser who desires to positively impact the world and help people live better lives, even if she's a robot. Michaela has demonstrated through her deeds and interactions with her fans and other random people across all of her social media platforms just how kind she is and how so much she means well to humanity. It's these traits that have endeared and continue to endear an increasing number of people to her across the globe. Michaela's energy has even been deemed to be unmatched, as she's always out making big moves and having an impact. She's even gone as far as launching her clothing line called Club 404 Not Found, which has now been paused to allow her to focus on several other projects. Michaela largely remained a well-admired internet mystery until 2018, when Trevor McFedries and Sarah Duku, the co-founders of Brud, acknowledged creating the now very popular CGI influencer for the very first time, as well as the Instagram account from which she now reaches her 3 million plus followers and the rest of the world. This public acknowledgement further soared Michaela's popularity, followed by another event that involved the hacking of her Instagram account by a similar CGI influencer called Bermuda. Bermuda deleted all of Michaela's photos and replaced them with hers. Brud would subsequently be revealed as the creator behind Bermuda, and this note would greatly help position Michaela's character as a social justice activist. While Michaela might be a robot, she lives like a real human being, replicating all activities that humans engage in, including having a boyfriend. Her relationship with her boyfriend Nick would, however, be short-lived, and in March 2020, she announced that she was consciously uncoupling from Nick in a move that was widely considered to be a classic influencer spin, even by many of her followers on Instagram. The pair would, however, continue to co-parent two firms, which they both have been nurturing since they met. She'd go on to make a song about the breakup and even feature Nick in the song's video. Michaela has been interviewed by several top publication outlets, including Vogue, BuzzFeed, The Guardian, Business of Fashion, and a host of others, and has also appeared on several magazine covers. Michaela's fame particularly reached unprecedented heights in 2018 and has continued to soar ever since. In February 2018, she was the center of an Instagram takeover for Prada as part of the Milan Fashion Week. Later on, in May, she was part of a Calvin Klein ad alongside Bella Hadid, in which both were animated and shown sharing a kiss. This ad would come under serious criticism, with Calvin Klein being accused of queerbaiting and having to issue an apology for the ad. In late 2018, she was included in the British Fashion Council in its lineup of new wave creatives. Michaela's music career has been particularly going strong, and with Trevor McFedries, one of her creators, being a one-time DJ and music producer, her songs continue to be fire hits, bringing her even more fame and making her the most famous virtual influencer on the planet. After releasing two singles, each in 2017 and 18, Michaela took her musical career to a higher notch in 2019, releasing 5 singles in 2019 and replicating the same energy in 2020. She took a break from music in 2021 and plans to release her maiden album later this year. As a virtual influencer, Michaela's life hasn't been different from that of other social media influencers. She's been enmeshed in controversies like many of these influencers, but she doesn't pretend to be real and has acknowledged on different occasions that she just exists in her world. In 2019, she famously attracted criticism after she detailed her experience with sexual assault in the back of a lift in a YouTube video she released on her channel. She was heavily criticized by critics for capitalizing on an experience that she possibly couldn't have lived through, given her very existence as a robot. The controversy only quelled after Rudd deleted the video from her channel, stating that her motives were misunderstood. She's likewise been criticized for being just like any other robot and taking jobs away from real people. But this criticism didn't even fly, especially given the many charitable works she's been involved in, like the California Wildfire Relief Fund, after-school feeding programs, and the Black Girls Code NGO, as well as the handful of developers, creators, marketers, and other team members that her creation has made gainfully employed. Regardless, Michaela has marked a new era in AI and continues to be acknowledged as a genius marketing initiative.
So, this little Michaela is
Ever imagined getting DM'd on Instagram from what you thought was an account operated by a real human being like yourself?
okay. So this little Michaela that you have seen, as you can see, from it was created for the Western world, and for the Western world, the way the girl was with the imperfections in the face, did you notice that there is a gap between the two teeth in the front, which is normal, right? The artificially people, if it is artificial, you can make any kind of teeth, correct? And also a lot of actresses go for the teeth job, nose job, this job, that job, right? But this lady has been made very natural human, and you have seen she was even doing the fashion parade along with the real actress, right? She is even hugging people. People are taking selfie with her and she is putting hand. And it's not easy for, as I said, I told you everything, but if you have not known this and you are just shown without this documentary part, it will be very difficult for you to understand that it is AI enabled, right? Now this has a lot of advantages, such kind of virtual influencers. So the future, the celebrity endorsement is declining, the virtual influencers are picking. Many things happen in this. So for example, one is I can own a virtual influencer. I can create an endorser for my brand, right? And that will only do my brand. But celebrity endorsers, we have a limited contract. They can do other brands as well. Of course, Lil Miquela was made, this is the first virtual influencer, so it was made for various kinds of things. You see, she's even singing music, and that looks so real, so natural. So this is, and this was long ago, 1996, right? Remember, now the technology is much more advanced. So these virtual influencers are replacing the human celebrities, and they are so effective. They are not prone to human errors, and if it happens, the deletion, erasing, correction is very easy. Because with one button, you can just remove from everywhere in the world. All platforms, all systems, you can block it. So even if somebody has it, it can be blocked, right? So this is the great advantage why virtual influencers are taking over. And this is first Indian news anchor, but this is a real lady. See the difference between this real lady and that lady. This is very quick.
The app is
Again, I have had.
I don't want any downtime. We better make sure we're in control.
Is that gone? No. You will help. Just remove that ad. Okay. Yeah.
Greetings to everyone. Namaste.
Namaste.
I am OTV's and Odisha's first air news anchor Lisa.
From Odisha.
As you all know, OTV is the first private satellite channel of Odisha which came into existence nearly 2.5 decades ago. In these 25 years of its broadcasting journey, OTV has reached many milestones, earning the reputation of being audio people's go-to news channel. Now, giving birth to me and by instating me into the TV and digital world, OTV has marked the beginning of a historic moment not only in Odisha, but for all the regional television broadcast mediums across the country. Please tune in for our upcoming segments where I will be hosting latest news updates coming in from Odisha, India and around the world. I hope you will accept me with the same love and enthusiasm. Namaste. Thank
So this.
greetings to everyone.
Come on, stop. Now.
Namaste.
Namaste.
I am OTV's and Odisha's
Stop. Namaste, Jana. Now, if you have seen her, is she not looking like very pretty women, but very real women? Correct? Not artificial like exercise. Did she not look like normal women at home? Beautiful, pretty women? You find such kind of women in every home, right? Nothing artificial. This is the first news anchor created in India. Now many new channels are using, and they are not as perfect as this first one. I mean, if you see this, and the good thing is, it will not commit the mistake. Why? Because those news anchors also read from the prompter. Correct? They read from the prompter. And many times, the human error, they read it wrongly, or they repeat something, or they say it incorrectly. Whereas this one will use the correct pronunciation, correct reading, and everything perfect. So this is what I'm saying, that this part is absolutely amazing, and the whole word of branding and advertising, it is specifically going changes. And the traditional agencies, branding agencies, advertising agencies, celebrity endorsement agencies, they all are in decline worldwide. Worldwide they are in decline. Because they never thought this can happen. They never accepted. You know, the one thing that human beings have, resistance to change. So they didn't accept it. And you see how that drug has created and became so rich, because the money that Lil Miquela gets, where does that money go? It goes to the bride. Correct? So he from nowhere, no agency, nothing. You know what is the meaning of CGI? He talked about CGI influencers. What is the meaning of CGI? Computer generated influencer. So that is what is CGI. So these influencers, and as I said, now China has created a factory of these influencers, and they are creating a specific region-wise, area-wise, language-wise, and they will create in that design. You want a South Indian, they will create a South Indian regular woman or regular man. You want a Rajasthani, they will create a Rajasthani. And that fellow will speak Rajasthani in absolutely correct accent and pronunciation. Right? So this is something in a big change in the branding that you are going to see in future. Very quickly I am going to talk about one more concept and the remaining in the next class. That is because this is related to your project, main project, that's why I want to finish this. It's called brand audit. Okay? You have, audit is an accounting terminology. You always have financial audit, which is accounting. But you also have inventory audit. You might have heard in many manufacturing firms, there is an inventory that is audited, which is called stock taking, both for raw material, semi-finished goods and finished goods. Sometimes depending on company it is done on daily basis, just-in-time companies. In some companies it is weekly basis, monthly basis, quarterly basis. Traditionally it used to be half-yearly basis because we didn't have the computerized system. Today with SAP and those ERP systems, at any point of time you can see the details and then you can physically verify that. So that is called audit. Now the brand audit has two components. You see here those two components are written here. One is called inventory, another is called exploratory. So let's look at these two components. So when we say we have to conduct the brand audit and for your project you have to do the brand audit, these are the two things that you have to do. The first step is called, the first step in brand audit is called brand inventory. So for conducting brand audit, what you do is first you do prepare the brand inventory and then you prepare the brand exploratory. So I am going to brand inventory now. What happened to my brand inventory? This is the brand inventory. Yeah. As I said, this is the first step in your brand audit. And inventory simply means the stock. As I said, it's a stock. So your company has one brand or multiple brands. Correct? So you prepare a kind of basket or a portfolio, whatever language you understand better. And in that each SKU is put, and for each SKU all the brand elements that you are using, all brand elements including, now you know packaging is also a brand element. So all of them you are listing, arranging your portfolio. Sorry?
For each SKU?
For each SKU. Each SKU you are doing that. That is called brand inventory. Okay? It includes all kind of brand elements and usually for you have to prepare it in the chart form. But in company they can even prepare it in the chart form or they can have props. So they can create even in the props form. You know, each item they take one and they put there. So you can see all of that along with the brand element. So of course you may have multiple pages, multiple slides for this. But this is your first step. The second step is, because brand equity consists of two things. One is the elements, that's what you did, creating those brand elements. So awareness about those. The second part is image. So you did the brand elements, now this is about image. So brand exploratory is the second step of your brand audit, and what it does is it provides detailed information about what consumers actually think of a brand. And when you say brand, those brand elements that you have in inventory, now you need to explain what consumers actually think about each of those elements. To do this, you need to conduct a research, usually a qualitative research, correct? Only qualitative research can tell what consumers think and feel about a brand and how they act towards it. This is only qualitative research can do. Now, I'm not expecting any of you to actually go to the market. You have no time, it's a lot of time consuming. So this research is to be done within your group, okay? So 5 of you sit together and come up with what you 5 think and feel about the brand and how you act about it. This is why I wanted actually for you people to take a consumer brand, but two groups have taken TCS and Endorsers, which is an organizational brand, it's a B2B brand, which may not be very easy for everybody to work on in terms of the exploratory, right? Because you may not be client, you might have not worked, so it's not easy to understand. Bharti Telecom,
So-
everybody is a user, so it's easy. Yes.
What is, like, we can search on, like, act upon the feedbacks.
Yeah, so you can definitely work on the secondary data. So when we talk about research, it could be based on secondary data, that is the published information, but always that has to be supplemented with the primary data. And that primary data, I would say, is the perception of your group members. Okay? Because I want you to know the method, procedure. This is not a professional consulting that you are doing it. When you use it in your professional life, real life, once you know the method, you can actually do it in a life. Is this clear to all of you? All clear? Any doubt? Okay, and you have these slides, so not to worry. The slides are already there. The last thing that I talk about is designing brand tracking studies. So this brand, that's the part of this, yes. Designing brand tracking studies and brand equity management systems. That includes brand charter. So when I talk about brand tracking studies, this brand audit that we just talked about, it's not a static concept. Like in company, is financial audit done once a year? No. It is done at least 4 times a year. Now, and in good companies with SAP, financial audit is done once a day. Some companies where I was consultant, we made it once a day because they were running in huge losses for long years, 12 years, 14 years. So to bring the profitability, I needed to get it done on a daily basis. So sometimes you do it on daily basis, sometimes you do it on monthly, quarterly basis. Amazon, even today, their audits are done on daily basis. So brand audit in the same way is a dynamic concept, not a static concept. What it means is that you have to track your brand in a regular basis, on a routine basis. Unfortunately, it can't be done daily or weekly, simply because it requires qualitative research. For your project, you are using secondary data, but in real life, you need to go to the market, and the management has to go to the market, talk to the distributors, talk to the real consumers, especially in B2B. It's so important, right? Because customer may suddenly be unhappy, you don't track about the brand performance, and he will say next time no more. You don't want to even talk to them. Correct? So very serious. Same about service industry. You visit a particular doctor or a particular hospital, if there is performance problem, what do? You know, it's no sense in talking to them, move to another. The lawyers, law agencies, you do exactly the same thing. So therefore, services, B2B, it's more critical. But consumer products too, we have to do on a routine basis, and we need to use qualitative research for doing this. Now the next important question is, what to track? So you have tracking studies, regular, continuous, but what to track? So what we track is these 3 big things. Number 1, we try to track product brand tracking. So each SKU has certain brand elements. We need to track that, how they are doing it, how they are being people, how they are helping people become aware, how they are helping people recognize the brand elements, how they are helping people remember, because that's the brand awareness dimensions. The second thing that we try to find out is corporate or a family brand name tracking. So we did the product brand tracking, but now it has also become important that product comes from a particular family brand like Tata, Reliance, Bharti, right? What is that? Hindustan Unilever, Procter & Gamble. So that's the corporate brand or family brand tracking that we have to do. The third thing that we have to do, if our brand is a global brand, what is happening globally? Now there is a war between Israel and Palestine. So people perceive America to be with Israel. So there are several countries which are boycotting American brands. They are boycotting American brands because they are supporting Israel. And as you know, amongst the Islamic countries, several countries are against Israel and they are in favor of Palestine. Understand? This is why it's important to keep tracking at the global. Is this clear to all of you? Fantastic. I'm running with high speed. Now, we are talking about establishing a brand equity management system. So like in businesses, everything has to be managed using system. Brand equity should also be managed. And these are all part of things that you comment in your project work. So for brand equity management system, there are three components. The very first component is establishment of what we call brand charter or brand, which is also called brand Bible. What is Bible? Bible is synonym to something that gives the direction for people to live the life, right? Like our Gita. What does Gita tell? Gita tell us how we should conduct our life in this world, correct? And Ramayana tells us the ideal way of doing it, correct? Very practical things are told, but again, depends on how you want to look at it. For political reasons, you may say that Ramayana is discriminatory to the society, and you may say that Gita is not practicable to political reasons. But if you are a scholar, see, we all are scholars, intellectuals. We are never biased to anything. We should never be biased to anything. We always look at things, and I always tell my people, everything has positive and negative. What should you be looking for? Positive. There is a trash and there is a gold. What will you take? Gold or trash? Naturally gold. So same thing about Gita, Ramayana, Mahabharata. Take the gold out of it. Whatever appears to be trash, that's not for you. Leave it. It is for somebody else. They will do the recycling, not your responsibility. Correct? So that's called Bible. So there is a charter that you prepare first that gives the direction to employees in the organization. If you hire agencies to build your brand, it will give direction to them on how to manage your branding. Once you have done that, and I'll explain a little bit more how the brand charter is. Once you have done that, then there is a brand equity reporting system where the brand audit that we just told here, that is reporting. You are talking about awareness of each of the elements that you have prepared in inventory. Exploratory tells the image in the consumer's mind, and that report you prepare in a dynamic manner, and you have seen for the product brand level, family brand level, and in the global level. And you prepare that report in a dynamic manner so that managers can take appropriate decisions from time to time. The third thing is brand equity responsibility. Many companies, especially small scale industries in our country, do not understand the importance of this. Even big companies have not assigned the responsibility of brand equity. They give this responsibility to the agencies and they think that it's not our job. After all, this is currency. This is your asset. If you have gold, will you leave for anybody else to protect, or you will take care of yourself? You will give someone in your family responsibility to keep it safe, correct? And enhance its value. Same way, in your organization, you need to find a person who is capable and give him a specific responsibility for managing the branding. Understand this part? This is as important as your gold as an asset, diamond as an asset. Now the last slide of the day is the charter. As I promised you about charter. So what is charter? This is the very first step when you are establishing the brand equity management system. It is, this charter formalizes the company view of brand equity into a document. What will brand equity mean for us? Are we going to measure it in dollar terms? I mean rupee terms? And if we are going to measure into rupee terms, how? What will we consider as equity? What is it that we will not consider? So brand charter or brand Bible, as sometimes I told you it is called brand Bible as well, it provides relevant guidelines to marketing managers and key marketing partners. This is what you should do, otherwise the equity will go down. Now you understand. So brand defines what kind of awareness we want. Brand defines what kind of image we want to create. That has to be documented. And that document should be known to everybody. Why document? Because document can be shared. Why this? Because when I am speaking, all of you may understand differently. But with this document along with it, there is no misunderstanding. You go back and refer to it and implement it. It's the same concept. So in company also, you need to have this brand charter, and that's what I'm saying. Even established company in India, many of them do not have brand charter. They do not have brand responsibility, and there is a historical reason. They gave this task to ad agencies like JWT. JWT is James Walter Thompson Associate, a British company that came during British time and then still ruled India. All advertising money, major advertising money and branding money went to them. I was consultant to them when their sales started declining 20 years ago. So James Walter Thompson Associate, JWT, this company now in India it's called HTA, Hindustan Thompson Associate. The same company, because it has to register in India, it's not called JWT, it's called Hindustan Thompson Associate, HTA. Now this company, people will give tasks to them. They are dealing with hundreds of brands from different companies. Why will they bother about it? You know, monopolistic situation. So you have, that's why you have to have a person that you can give responsibility who will look after this particular aspect. And it should be, remember again, do you think the brand charter will remain valid forever? No. This is not mantra. This is not slogan which can continue for a long period of time. This has to be reviewed and updated annually, because image can be changed, influenced by the competition. When competition is affecting what is the awareness of our brand? What is the image of our brand in the market? Based on that analysis, we have to update it and is this clear, my friends? That ends today's talk. Any questions, comments or feedback? Any questions, comments or feedback? This is all included in your project work. Yes, Sujit.